And here we are. A bit early, but that's okay. How's everybody doing tonight? Those of you watching on YouTube, I should say, because nobody's watching the stream yet. Alright, hang on a second. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do the postings of the streamings. Boop. And there we go. Alright. Those of you catching this on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. My name is Mobius. If you would like to see more Stellaris Console Edition content, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I have an ever-growing playlist of Stellaris Let's Play, as I always like to keep a game going that I only play on stream, so you never miss out on anything. And I upload all of those to YouTube. I also have a Stellaris Tips and Strategies video playlist. Occasionally make some videos in that. I've been kind of lazy at adding anything to that playlist lately, I will admit. But definitely lots of requests coming in from other viewers, other players like yourself. And I also always have ideas floating around in my head. Anyways, yeah. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description below where you can find my Twitch channel where I streamed this off of. You can also find my Twitter handle. It's a great way to keep in touch with me, and I also post things like when I'm going live, if I have to postpone streams, stuff like that. Also a very good way to get in touch with me. And, of course, a link to the little Discord channel that I have going. Hi, Stang. How are you? I'm just tickety-boo. Also a little, as I said, the third link in the description below to the little Discord channel that I made regarding my YouTube stuff. Mostly people joining regarding Stellaris Console Edition. So it's a good place to come in, talk with other Stellaris Console Edition players, and, you know, set up multiplayer games, talk about things, get ideas, ask questions, etc. So let's get back into our stream game. We are almost 200 years into the game, and if I recall right, we were in the process of building our Dyson sphere to offset our energy deficits that we frequently were running into, and we're also building up some of our colonies still. So we've got Bagiel Prime here. What were we doing? I can't quite remember. Looks like it could use a few more power plants and maybe some science labs. Although minerals are always good. I don't think we really need to worry about power plants since we're building up the Dyson sphere. Would be my guess. But we do have an energy nexus, so maybe we should build just a couple power plants regarding that. Well, we have nothing else to upgrade. Oh, I forgot. I can still build art monuments. Let's just go ahead and upgrade this mineral silo for the time being. This will increase the amount of minerals that we can store at any one time. Okay. Now, my phone is actually fairly low on battery power. Usually I use it to keep track of the chat. So if I am suddenly not talkative, please don't take it personally. My phone will have probably died. Of course, I'll have told everybody when that happens. Oh, man. Arimadon core. What are you upgrading? Oh, we've got... it's finished its surface construction queue, and yet it has a pretty big surface construction queue. Okay. Arimadon core, you are building some mining... Sorry, you're upgrading some mining networks and then building some basic science labs. So we can upgrade those science labs once they get going. Alright. Cantarum Central. I do believe we're going to build some mining networks on a couple of these tiles. It looks like all of our pops are taken care of, though. This guy's growing on an engineering facility. Don't need to worry about that for a little while. Factually is all done, and Fact Tertius is all done. So, yeah. Pretty much just those last 3 planets. Okay. Cool. Alright, now, the second Void Skulkers. I had those positioned there because we're worried about these Savix Cast Reclaimers, as they are the dominant force in the galaxy, being the awakened empire that still has a fleet. Considering the Valdari Mediators were getting pooped on in the ongoing war. Okay, let's see here. What are we doing? Passive observation. Can we do... yeah, let's do technological enlightenment on this one. And how about this one? Late medieval age. We'll do technological enlightenment here as well. See if we can make these vassals. Actually, maybe that's not a good idea. Does not have hive mind. Active native studies, unrestricted native studies. Well, that's unfortunate. We have gene tailoring, but we don't have unrestricted native studies. Okay. So perhaps we should do technological enlightenment. That will cause a small hit in our... Any tips on expanding borders quickly and getting the most out of your fleet? I've played at 6 games now where my fleets of 10k get destroyed so quickly. Colonize planets and build spaceports on them. Because... yeah. Naval capacity is directly affected by the number of spaceports you have, as well as the total amount of pops in your empire. So if you play wide, colonize lots of planets, build the spaceports on them, and obviously upgrade those spaceports when able, you'll have a pretty high naval capacity, allowing you to build more ships without going over on that naval capacity. Now, to be fair, the naval capacity isn't a be-all, end-all. You can go over it. Just be aware that the maintenance of those ships will be significantly higher the higher over your naval capacity you go. So keep that in mind. There's really not much you can do to expand your borders quickly aside from build frontier outposts in relevant systems that are pertinent to your interests and colonize planets that are good. And by good, they have a decent size, 20 or more tiles, and they are... Can you play tall with the version console is on? Yes, that's pretty much the only way I play. My current offline game that is not being played on stream, I am actually doing the one planet strategy. And it works just fine. Or at least I think it works just fine. I wouldn't know. I haven't quite completed it, quote-unquote completed it yet. Let's see. I do believe it is colloquially agreed upon that at this point in Stellaris on PC, it was better to play wide in 1.7. It was still possible. It's still very possible to play tall, and of course, it was way back in 1.7-ish, 1.8-ish on PC where somebody came up with the one planet strategy and built a science nexus in about 70 years, which is insane. So it's totally doable. There we go. Okay, so yeah, our Dyson Sphere, we're building the next section here. This will be the second section that actually produces energy for us. But it's more like the third stage. We had to build the construction site, and then we had to build the frame, and the frame was actually being a bit of a drain on our energy. I believe it's only 5 energy per month. But we've already built the second stage, which was the first set of solar panels, as you can see, already in the 5-sided sections. Now we're building the second set of solar panels. This will give us 200 energy per month. The third one, 300. Fourth one, 400 energy. And that will be a complete Dyson sphere. Looking forward to that. Wow, how do you play with just one planet? Where do you get your resources from? Orbital stations. It's a very different way to play, but it's up my alley because the idea is to, well, for lack of a better phrase, assert technological dominance and rushing all sorts of technologies and sciences so that you can get a huge boost in technology very, 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 very early. And then when you actually start expanding and you get a big fleet capacity, you have ships with a whole bunch of repeatable techs while people are still trying to get their top tier weapons and top tier ships and all that jazz. So you could theoretically just wipe them all out. It's a very different way to play. It's pretty... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to say hardcore or intense because that's not true. It's just kind of a different way of playing, and I thoroughly enjoy it. How long does it take to get the orbital stations? However much it costs. The orbital stations are the ones you build around an asteroid that gives you minerals or energy, is what I was getting at. You build a little mining or a research station. That's what I'm referring to by orbital stations. I'm not referring to anything fancy like a megastructure or anything like that. For example, this here in the SCAT system, here, this is an orbital station. This is a mining station around SCAT 3 that's giving me 3 minerals every month. That's an orbital station. They normally cost 90 minerals to construct a single one at the beginning of the game, but that cost does get reduced as time goes on, and it's easier to make them as time goes on because your mineral output goes up. Speaking of mineral output, let's see here. What do we got? Research complete. What have we just finished? Ooh, focusing arrays 2. Okay, increased. Oh, sorry about that. I misunderstand you. Yeah, no big deal. Geez. Planetary signal boosters, who cares? Gravitational analysis, who cares? Shield harmonics would be good. Predictive algorithms don't really need it, but it's cheaper of the two. However, shield harmonics is definitely more useful, so let's go with that. 46 months to complete. Blech. I'm going to want to build a few more science labs, I think. I can't remember what I agreed to build on certain tiles in the last episode. And I feel a little silly for that. I probably should have gone back and watched it a little bit. Or just cut the little end bits. Okay, so we've got our basic science labs done here. This one's going to be an engineering facility, so let's upgrade that. This one is going to be physics, so let's upgrade that. And this one is going to be a biolab, so let's upgrade that. Getting a lot of physics points off of this physics lab right here. It's only generating 6 by a base amount, but with all the bonuses we've got going on, it's generating a total of 9.6. So we've got 20, 40, 50, 60, 60% extra generation. Huh. I think I mentioned that earlier, as a matter of fact. It's tough to keep track of this stuff when you only play it maybe once a week. I'm sure it's a lot. If somebody binged this series of episodes of online play in a row, it'd be like, well, I remember that from 2 hours ago. Why can't you remember that? Well, because for me, that was a week ago. What's this guy doing? He's getting some ships. Oh, look at that one Corvette. Oh, my goodness. We need to go on high alert. He's got a Corvette. I just realized that our fleet, which we have not improved on for a while, is now sitting at 61.5k for fleet power. Not bad. What do we got going on here? What's this Federation fleet doing? Huh. Who controls it? I can't remember. The Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom. 4th Stellar Cluster. Decent looking fleet. And this one is a super tiny one. Probably looking to regroup. Combined with that one that is chasing. Okay, So yeah, this is the late game of Stellaris, which I can understand. Not a lot of people are too keen on it, and I totally get that. This is, for me, I don't mind it because this is the super chill part of the game, where you just kind of sit back, relax, wait for minerals to generate, or sorry, wait for resources to generate, wait for research projects to complete, etc., etc. So, you know, it gives you a pretty good opportunity to, you know, eat some food. And what do we want to do here? Devastator torpedoes, I don't think would be too bad of an idea, really. It'd be useful when we take on this awakened empire next to us. But we're still waiting for this the Praetorian Scourge to show up, because as you can see, the coming storm, which we had for almost the entire episode in the last instance, in the last chapter, and that lasted, what, a good 20, 30 in-game years? Something like that. Ooh, did you see that fleet? Look at this fleet, 333k. Wow, they got a Titan, and it's 36,000 fleet power on its own. That's fantastic. Battleships are worth about 5,000 each. There's only 40 of them, though. That's a lot of ships. Oof. Ugly. What are you guys doing? Ooh, they're chasing those dudes. Our Federation fleet is like, run away! Getting ready for crisis. Yeah, I've just been chilling. I've already got the second Void Skulkers. We redesigned our ships. So if we take a look at the second Void Skulkers, we've got our... these are our cruisers. I got one thing of flak artillery to deal with the missiles and strike craft that the Swarm has. Threw on quite a bit of shields with dual shield capacitors on our cruisers and battleships. And everything else is plasma weapons. I wanted to stick on one large plasma cannon on the cruisers. Normally I'd go for the broadside core, which has 3 mediums, because that's more guns. But I wanted to throw on the large plasma cannon because the extra range of 80 will be nice to lob big balls of burning hot damage from a distance on top of the tachyon lances from the battleships. So that was a cruiser. Where is a destroyer? The destroyers, I've also got a large plasma cannon on there, and the back is just a single flak artillery because these are the more defensive-oriented ships. So they're going to hang back and shoot things down with the flak artillery and lob big balls of love with the plasma cannons. The corvettes, they have small cutting lasers because of that 100% armor ignore, which is fantastic against the Praetorian Scourge, actually. These things don't have the best damage and average damage per day values, but because of that 100% ignore armor, they're really good against the likes of the Praetorian Scourge because of that big armor ignore. Now, I gotta go through the big-ass list of corvettes that we have, because we have 60 corvettes. And then here's our battleships. We've got the big old tachyon lance, and then I threw on an artillery core, which is unusual for me. I'm not using strike craft, but I wanted to throw in more guns. And we got 2 large plasma cannons, 2 medium plasma cannons, and 2 flak artillery in the rear, in the back of the ship. So I did a broadside stern on the battleship as well, and threw on 2 more flak artillery. Is it a good idea to design your own ships? Absolutely. The auto-designed ships are crap. I will tell you that right now. If anybody didn't know that, now you do. You're welcome. Don't stick with the auto-designed ships. You should always be changing your ship designs to what you are planning to do with them. For example, if we were going after the Awakened Empire over here to our left, I would totally change things around. Right now, we are going very shield-heavy in terms of defenses. I would change that up because this guy uses kinetic weapons, giga cannons, kinetic artillery, mass drivers, stormfire autocannons, that kind of stuff. They're really good. All of those weapons are either do bonus damage against shields or are really good against shields because they have such a high rate of fire. So I would get rid of most, if not all, of the shields on our ships and slap on more armor, because even though kinetic artillery and giga cannons do have some degree of armor ignore, it's not as good as things like plasma cannons and stuff. And I would change our ships around to have a few more things like disruptors and probably strike craft, and I would definitely change our corvettes to have neutron torpedoes to take out this guy's shields. So you never want to keep the auto-designed ships. They're garbage, and when you research new weapons, they very rarely will equip them. So you could have battleships that still have your basic missiles, your basic grade 1 missiles, for example, and you're like, well, why are they so crappy? I have giga cannons and tachyon lances and And it's like, well, you gotta design the ships and upgrade them in your ship designer, otherwise they won't make use of those weapons. Yeah, if you know what you are up against, yeah, oh, okay, you do have lances. I mean, you can look on, as I always say with everything, you can look online as to a good way to combat certain things, you know, certain types of fallen or awakened empires and endgame crises, etc., etc. Thanks, but how do I know what kinds of weapons the enemy is using? Because my current playthrough, I can't see that information. I'll be honest, I haven't fully figured out how to check what the heck the enemy ships are equipped with. I know there's a way to do it because I've done it several times before, but I'm pretty sure it was under specific circumstances. I do believe it had something to do with getting in a battle with some of my own ships and being able to check the status report. But I've been looking into that as I play online and offline, trying to figure out how you go in and you look at the enemy ship design, and I haven't figured out the surefire way to do that. I know there is a way to do it. There's definitely a way to do it on PC where they can look at it any time, but I've only been able to get it done here on console under specific circumstances, which is a major pain in the ass. But you can also largely tell by, if you watch Approaching the Outer Rim. Here we go. Okay. The strange subspace echoes we detected in intergalactic space are now approaching the outer rim of our galaxy. Several smaller contacts appear to be racing ahead of the main body of echoes towards a number of rim systems. We have entered the positions of these systems in the situation log and will continue to monitor the situation. Okay, here we go. It's about time. We're going to track all on map and see where they are. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, Great Kundan Coalition. You guys are in trouble. That's not good. How do I get a fleet over there? That's like the worst place to have these guys spawn in, because I wanted them to get, you know, closer to us so I didn't have to worry about taking our fleets through enemy territory. The pirate fleets I can see after entering into combat, but lost when it comes to other empires. If you have a neighbor with good enough range on their centers, you can spy on them, correct. Obviously you need to be sharing vision with them, also correct. But from what I can tell, here, let's try this right now. Oh, here we go. So with this battle going on, we're looking at the fleet combat screen. When you move the cursor down to these little ships, you should be able to press A and look at the ship design. In this case, we can. So this is... Whoop, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So on the left are Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom ships. So we can take a look at their cruiser, for example. This cruiser has 2 kinetic artillery and 2 medium mass drivers, or in this case, Gauss cannons. Max tier Gauss cannons. So you're looking at, so you look at these and you go, okay, kinetic artillery and Gauss cannons have plus 33% shield damage, and they have a pretty decent rate of fire, especially the Gauss cannons. Not so much the kinetic artillery, obviously. But yeah, these have a decent rate of fire, so they're really good at taking down shields. However, they only have ignore 15 and 20% of armor, respectively. So in this instance, you would want to either forego shields or only have a couple things of shields, and you would want to focus heavily on slapping on more pieces of armor of your ships, because these kinetic weapons don't do so well to it. Now, true, Giga Cannons still ignore 50% of armor. I believe it's 50%, actually. I should double check that. Does this guy have a Giga Cannon somewhere? There's his cruisers, there's his destroyers. Oh, see, this ship has lasers and disruptors. The computers make really weird designs. Let's look at the Fallen Empire's ships. Those should all be pretty universal. Escort Hull Crab Bet Clocks. That's fantastic. See, we can't look at these guys' ships, which drives me nuts. I've done it before where I've looked at enemy vessels but I don't think it can be Fallen Empires or Endgame Crises ships because they're not the same. Because the Fallen and Awakened Empires have these different looking ship. What's the word I'm looking for? Ship models. It won't bring them up in the same view we were just looking at with this guy here, with the regular-ish looking ships. You know, like these destroyers, they're just molluscoid or whatever looking destroyers. That can be brought up in that little thing, just like in the ship designer, no problem. But I don't think it can do it with the other ones because they're so different. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense or if that's even true, to be totally honest, but I'm looking at it right now. This guy, the non-awakened Empire, we can check out his ships and how he's designed them. Ooh, this is just a goofy looking design. He's got 2 advanced bomber wings, 2 Guardian point defense, medium laser, medium phase disruptor, small laser, small phase disruptor, and tachyon lance. So this guy has got a somewhat balanced kind of loadout, somewhat. But it's a very weird one. I mean, you could still build a fairly balanced loadout of your own and just go nothing but plasma cannons, neutron torpedoes, and tachyon lances yourself with an even mix of armor and shields. And so long as you had a stronger fleet, you'd probably beat the crap out of them, no problem. Or even an evenly matched fleet, just, you know, throw on more guns. But yeah, I think that's how it is. Because that was a Fallen/Awakened Empire, we can't check exactly what they are using. This is just my guess, but I'm going off of not what's the word? Anecdotal evidence is not the correct term, because I mean we're trying it right now, right? See, we can't look at these guys' escorts. We were able to look at his transport ships, but not his escorts and his battleships. So that's that. But if we watched this battle, as you can see, everything being shot at. Everything getting blasted out from the left, which is the Awakened Empire ships, there's slugs. And the lasers are all coming from the right. So we know that the fleet on the right has lasers, and you can see those big yellow slugs, those are from Giga Cannons and whatnot. And then there's other smaller yellow slugs which could be from whatever size mass drivers or even kinetic artillery. So we can tell just from the visuals in this fleet battle that, yeah, they've got kinetic weapons. What happened here? This guy's... It's interesting. Got another fleet warping in. There they are. A little 5K fleet. There you go. Yeah, they're gonna do something. Considering that this Awakened Empire fleet completely obliterated that guy's fairly decently sized fleet, just in terms of ship size. Anyways, that's an idea. You can't exactly... So it seems like you can't exactly look at what the loadout is on the likes of... oh, what the heck was I saying? Awakened and Fallen Empires, and by extension, Endgame Crises. However, for other empires whose ships you can investigate, you can see exactly what they're equipping. So in that instance, if they have certain weapons, you can just go into Ship Designer and load up a certain ship design. So let's do Spinal Mount Bow so that we can look at everything. We'll do a broadside core and a broadside stern, I guess. Actually, no, sorry. We'll do a hangar core and then an artillery stern. That way we have a large slot so we can look at kinetic artillery, and then we have some medium slots so we can look at smaller weapons like whirlwind missiles and Stormfire autocannons and stuff. And then Spinal Mount, you look at the stats on the Spinal Mount weapons. So in this instance, it's like, okay, so the Awakened Empire is using Giga Cannons. It ignores 50% of armor and has plus 33% shield damage. So it still has that same flat 33% bonus damage to shields, but in this case, it has the best armor ignore out of the kinetic weapons that we've seen. And how do we know that? Well, we can take a look at the large kinetic artillery. Ignores 20% of armor, but still has plus 33% shield damage. The Gauss cannon ignores 30% of armor, plus 33% shield damage. Stormfire autocannon, no bonus damage to shields, but it has a really high rate of fire, and it ignores 20% of armor. Let's So by extension, you can kind of surmise that while the Giga Cannon does have far better armor ignore than everything else, most of these weapons have a higher bonus damage to shields than anything else. The one exception being Stormfire autocannons. They only have armor ignore. So some shields to deal with if in case they have some Stormfire autocannons, but if you forego some shields, you don't want to completely ignore them, but if you forego a few things of shields and slap on more armor, defensively your ships will have a bit of, they'll be able to just withstand those weapons a little bit better. Not significantly better, obviously. Now, if they went with something like tachyon lances and lasers or plasma, well, the tachyon lance ignores 90% of armor, but it loses 33% shield damage. So right away, you're going to see a trend here. And plasma cannons and lasers are also more anti-armor, especially plasma cannons. Medium plasma cannons ignore 80% of armor and minus 20% shield damage. Similar thing with the medium gamma laser, except they ignore 30% of armor and minus 20% shield damage. They also have less range. And of course, you also have the mining drone laser, or the cutting laser, which ignores 100% of armor, but it has no bonus or loss to shield damage. And you know, that's pretty much it there, actually. So if you know an opponent that you're going against is using the likes of tachyon lances, or even just particle lances, lasers, plasma cannons, that kind of stuff, those are not strictly, but more anti-armor weapons, and most of those weapons suffer a damage penalty against shields. So slap on more shields on your ships. It is actually that easy, but it's also that important that you design your own ships, because auto-designed ships have pretty much no extra armor, no shielding, and they have like the baseline weapons. We'll go with a pseudo auto-designed ship here right now. Ships get auto-designed as soon as you have the what's it called, the chassis necessary to make one, and as soon as you get one, you'll get a goofy ass setup. And it'll pretty much just look, we need to, how do we show obsolete? There we go. Okay. So I just hit the X button on the controller to show obsolete. This means show obsolete things. So I have 0-point reactors researched, but this also allows me to equip antimatter, cold fusion, fusion, and fission reactors, which are the inferior versions of ship reactors. So an example auto-designed ship. Oops, no. Oops, come on. There we go. Go as fast as my fingers are going. There. This is an example of an auto-designed ship. It has the basic thrusters, radar, combat computer, and hyperdrive systems. It has a starting weapon, in this case all red lasers. For no matter how the cores are picked, it's possible they could do a carrier core and then throw on some point defense and like scout wings, but again, it'll still have red lasers, and then the grade 1 point defense, and then it'll have like 2 scout wings, and 1, 2, maybe 3 fission reactors for power. But the point is, this is all it looks like. This is what an auto-designed ship looks like, which is complete crap. So I mean, what do we want to use? Do we want to use our battleships that have lots of shields and some flak artillery with plasma cannons and a tachyon lance, and our fully upgraded jump drives, combat computer, thrusters, and sensors? Or do we want to use the auto-designed ship, which is significantly cheaper to construct, but is way, way, way worse? We can compare it by simply looking at the cost on the left there. It says 880 minerals to build this thing. That is significantly cheaper, but let's look at the overall damage. 37.32 points of damage per day. Let's take a look at this one that we specially tailored. 1,990 minerals to construct, but the damage per day is 67.76. So over twice the cost for about twice the damage per day. And, of course, it has significantly more survivability because it also has 4 slots of hyper shields. So, auto-designed ships are bad. Never stick with them. Always be updating them. It could be something as simple as going into your automatically generated design and updating it to the latest sets of weapons and power cores and deflectors that you have researched and whatnot, and just updating that. And then you can have this auto upgrade option checked off, which will have it so that the ship designer will automatically upgrade to the next tier of weapons or defenses or combat computers or sensors or whatever, provided the ship has enough power. If the ship does not have enough power, and say for example we were using an earlier stage of plasma cannon, not these ones, so like a plasma accelerator for example, and then we researched the plasma cannon. Well, if all 4 of these were the blue plasma accelerator, but we only had the power to upgrade one of these, it would upgrade one of them. For example, we might just have a single large plasma cannon, but the other 3 are still medium plasma accelerators. Well, that's because there's not enough power. So you need to either upgrade your ship reactors or just put more on the ship. So I should build for an equal aiming of shield and armor damage. Thanks, that could explain why I get my butt kicked. I mean, it depends. It's not just the weapons that the computer uses. The computers also favor certain types of defenses. But for ease of use, yeah, you do want to do a nice mixed blend. Like I said, an easy thing to do. I've said this numerous times. The easiest thing you can do is get protons and get to proton torpedoes and their upgraded equivalent neutron torpedoes, and slap those on all your corvettes, and then just do a whole bunch of anti-armor, namely plasma launchers, plasma accelerators, plasma cannons on all of your other weapon slots. Your corvettes will swarm in, blast all their neutron torpedoes, and completely shred enemy shields. And then your other ships, which are hanging back at longer ranges, will easily take out any de-shielded enemies with their plasma launchers because they have so much anti-armor capability. It's an easy, straightforward, and brain-dead effective way to actually build a fleet. It's not the be-all, end-all way to do things, and it has its flaws, but it's one way to go about it. And like I said, it's easy. Okay, so we need to upgrade these science labs now. Hopefully by the time this biolab upgrades to grade 2, this pop will be done growing. And then we can upgrade that physics lab as well. There we go. Okay, so we can build a new science lab for this guy. Let's put him on this tile because we want to make use of that 1 extra point of physics research. Absolutely. I can't believe it's already halfway into the stream. Jeez! Look at you making me waste all this time babbling about crap that doesn't even relate to the game. Okay, thanks. I will start there. Okay, man. If nothing else, I hope it was helpful. I don't mind talking about this stuff during the streams. Especially at this point in the game where we're doing a lot of sitting around and waiting. Not so much anymore. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I need to get our fleet over there somehow. Maybe I should just play it safe and go all the way through these guys' space. I think that's what I'll do. Oh, wait, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, let's have them return. Ah, screw it. We got to get them there. We got to get them there. Okay, so start by making your way over here and cut through this guy's space, and then let's put him in Ejok, because it's not a guarantee that the Praetorian Scourge, the first bits, their Vanguard fleets, will show up in these systems. This is just an estimate. No, I don't have Lance yet. Tachyon Lances are very good. And they're also very good in the fleet strategy I just described to you, where your corvettes have the proton or neutron torpedoes. Because as we saw earlier, Tachyon Lances suffer a damage penalty against shields, but they ignore 90% of armor, and a single shot from a Tachyon Lance actually does a pretty significant amount of damage. Excuse me. Sorry for the sniffling. An important thing to remember, though, is you do also need to keep track of your defenses. Is the enemy using strike craft? Well, you'll definitely want to use some flak artillery. Or are they using missiles? Well, a combination of flak artillery and point defense doesn't hurt. Oh, here we go. And our fleet is not in position whatsoever. Its point of origin appears to be the contacts approaching from intergalactic space. Establish visual feed. Hack, hack, hack. Main screen, turn off. Just got a zero wing moment from that. Okay, let's go ahead and put this guy here. How many minerals are we generating? Oh, we're all losing 16 power per month on this planet, though, and I don't like that, so let's go ahead and do a power plant in this tile. We'll do a couple power plants on this planet, even though it's not really necessary. Actually, first wave. There it is. Are we sure they can't be reasoned with? Oh, boy. 56k for the Vanguard fleet. So the... Okay, so the incoming tack lances on battleships are a must if you want to beat an awoken empire. Pretty much. Each spinal mount weapon has its ups and downs. I think arc emitters are too unpredictable because their damage scope is they can do like 1 point of damage, or they can do the actual amount that is advertised. Which is a lot of damage, and they penetrate shields 100% and they ignore armor 100%. So when you actually get those big damage shots, arc emitters are really good, but it's not consistent. So that's my problem with them. Giga cannons are very good because they have that bonus shield damage, but they still ignore 50% armor, and they have the longest range. So Giga cannons are good as well. However, I do think Tachyon lances are the best, and I do believe it's still collectively agreed upon that Tachyon lances are the best because they still have fantastic range. They have more range than kinetic artillery. And it's that 90% armor ignore. That's actually quite a big deal. Okay, so we are going to have to move our second Void Skulkers over there. This is going to take too long. I wanted our fleets in position long before this, so that when these Vanguard fleets came in, we could try and isolate some and pick them off individually already. And I don't want to use any influence to use, what's it called? We still have the Agrarian Idol and Inward Perfection, so I want to reform our government. And what? Whoa, here we go. The second wave. We are no longer able to discern the main body of approaching subspace echoes from our own galaxy's background radiation, which can mean only one thing. They have arrived. If the size of their vanguard is any indication, the main host of these invaders must be massive. Alright, we'll take a look at them in a second. Can we do corporate dominion? We have to be not xenophobic, which we are, unfortunately. Okay. So we can't do corporate dominion. That would be super useful to change one of these out. I think we were looking at this earlier, and I figured we should just do... Not warrior culture. What was it? Cutthroat politics, I guess? And then... What was the other one? I can't remember what the other one we were looking at. I guess environmentalist. Those seem like the only options that would be any decent. And we've been waiting so long to get enough influence to reform our government, maybe because these two civics, Inward Perfection and Agrarian Idol, have been useless for so long now. Okay, let's take a look at the Praetorian fleets. Holy crap! Okay, they are significantly more... Well, they're rated more powerful than I expected. But we might still be able to take them on. I don't know. I don't know. There's a few of you in chat. What do you guys think? Should we continue to move our fleet into position to engage these guys? Or should we hang back until we build up a few more battleships and are not losing energy when we move our ships? I'm going to get our guys to stop and just return. I don't know where they are. Oh, they're way over here. They're already over there. But yeah, if you guys can still reply to me in chat, want to get our guys to park in a spaceport, a friendly spaceport, and just hang tough until you can, until you guys give me your opinion. If we should keep moving our fleet into position to see if we can stem the tide this early, or if we should just hang tough until we get a slightly bigger fleet. My worry is that if we wait, these guys will infest so many they'll infest so many colonies and get so many more fleets that we won't be able to stop them. It's been 45 minutes already. I would build up the fleet a little bit. Yeah, I do agree with you, Stang, honestly. Okay, let's get them in position. We'll put them at the Kentarum spaceport. Just get them to hang out here for now. We can't send them through the Valdari Mediator's space. Well, that's super lame. I mean, we have enough minerals and naval capacity to build up several battleships. And how much longer for our Dyson Sphere? We got a while, so we can build quite a few right now. Okay, so let's go ahead, go to our spaceports, battleships 1522, because we have the battleship assembly yards to reduce the cost a little bit. Possibly some other things reducing cost as well. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There, 8 battleships. That should be okay for now. And we should still have enough minerals left over that by the time the Dyson Sphere is done, we have 40k saved up yet again to upgrade it to the 3rd stage. Or sorry, the 4th stage. This guy leveled up. Great. Construction complete here. What do we got going on? We got don't want to upgrade that physics lab just yet. Okay, so let's upgrade these bits. Engineering facility, physics lab, and biolab, and then we will upgrade this one to a physics lab. Okay, what do we got? Somebody's trying to trade something. The Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom wants to give us energy credits. Yeah, sure. We can do that. They traded... What did they want? They wanted living metal, and we have 3 things of it. Oh, crazy. One thing that I find kind of annoying in this game is when you're going into trade with somebody, you can't offer them strategic resources, which I think is a little silly. Like, I can't talk to the Great Kundan Coalition right now and go, offer a trade deal. Have some... So everything I just said is a lie. Ignore me. I just put my foot in my mouth. Big time. Now I get it. Okay, okay. I understand now. So... I can only offer living metal and dark matter for strategic resources because they don't have any themselves. Now I get it. Okay. Well, I'm an idiot for saying what I just said 2 minutes ago because it's a lie. I was playing with a buddy of mine and I was trying to trade some strategic resources to an AI empire that we were friendly with, and it wasn't letting me do it. So I was like, what the hell? They can only request it? That's super lame. But now I realize it's because you can only offer what they don't have already. Which makes perfect sense. This is the Nomad fleet. They're still here. Huh. Anyways, well, there they go. They've just infested their first planet. This is extremely problematic. Oh, man. We've still got... What was it? It was a while. Let's go take a look. Oh, geez. We've still got a good 3 years or so. 3-4 years before this Dyson Sphere section finishes. Complete. There we go. So as you can see, our mineral production actually took a pretty significant hit because we just built a bunch of battleships. So that increased the maintenance, the ship maintenance required every month. Oh, we're over naval capacity too, see? Check it out. Reduced by minus 20% due to federal... Okay, the maintenance cost of your military ships is increased by plus 0% due to being over your naval capacity. That's not a big deal. Okay, current research. Let's take a look. Still got a while before things finish. Okay, let's go back to our planets. Need to still build up those, those what's it called? Those structures. Can't forget about them. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a mining network here. We need more minerals. We require more minerals. Alright, so this pop is growing. He's going to get an upgraded basic science lab. Let's do this mineral silo upgrade. And now Cantharum Central. This guy is still growing here. So, let's go ahead and do a mining network. Right there. The only... Never mind the only empire. The only fleet that has anywhere near as much power in terms of overall fleet rating compared to these Praetorian Scourge fleets is this guy's Awakened Empire. This Awakened Empire's fleet. Ugh. That's brutal. Yeah, we're gonna get kind of stomped here, I think. Where did all this guy's military fleets go? Did he throw them all away against that Awakened Empire? No, there's one right there. It's a pretty decent sized one, too. Now, if we remember from the previous playthrough with the Suthari, fleet power isn't everything. We had fleets that were rated at, like, what, half the fleet power of the Praetorian Scourge fleets, and we were taking them out. It was glorious.
Construction complete.
Construction complete. Okay, what do we got going on here? Mining network upgrade. Remedon Core. Cantharum Central. See, I don't like sitting back and giving the Praetorian Scourge time to infest planets because it just makes them stronger. And that really bothers me. On the bright side, though, around the same time that our Dyson Sphere finishes, we'll be able to reform our government so that we can get rid of these useless civics that we've had for how freaking long now? Indefinitely? You'll see a significant reduction in the amount of unity we're generating every month. Right now we're generating 346.76 every month. That's less than half of what we were generating before we got rid of all those unity-producing buildings. The Ministry of Culture, all the art monuments, the... what was it? Auto-curating vault. Oh, actually, sorry, we only had the auto-curating vault for, like, what? A few days? A few in-game days? That was pretty funny. Yeah, art monument, all of our hypercoms forums, etc., etc. Yeah, there it is. Ministry of Culture. The list goes on. And several other
construction complete.
Buildings that were generating some unity as well. But like a very small amount. Like I think we had some visitor sensors. Blah, blah, blah. Visitor centers. Excuse me. Talking is hard. We are still at war with the Savix Cast Reclaimers. Can we not do that anymore? Can we offer white peace? No. They want to liberate the Mitron Assembly of Nations. Really? Whatever. Anyways, our fleet power actually jumped a pretty significant amount just from building those 8 battleships, which is pretty cool. Okay, Bagiel Prime, upgrade the mining network. And Cantharum Central, We'll be able to upgrade this mining network in a moment as well. See, now,
Construction complete.
in this playthrough, we don't really have any specialized planets. And what I mean by specialized planets is we didn't have a single planet specifically tailored to build a whole bunch of science labs. We didn't have a planet specifically tailored to build a whole bunch of power plants. Even though we have no planets with a nice planetary modifier to greatly increase the production of those kinds of things. It would have been beneficial if we did, because now that we have the biological, or I should say the genetic mastery, we would be able to gene tailor the populations on those planets to further increase production of all these types of resources. So the planet where we had power generated, where it was just power plants, so we were generating a lot of energy on it, we'd be able to gene tailor them so that they had, what the heck was that trait? Thrifty? I can't remember. Hang on. Let's take a look-see here. Yeah, thrifty. Plus 15% energy credits. So like that would have been really cool to change things into. We could change our science generating planets, where they have they keep natural engineers, but they also have erudite, for example, on just that one planet, and that would be helpful. And then the planets where we've got minerals coming in, we could make our guys both very strong for plus 10% minerals, and also industrious for another plus 15% minerals. So, these planets would have been so productive in with their specific resource that they're generating on those planets. So it's always been said that it's better to specialize your planets and all that jazz, and I definitely agree with it. It all comes down to preference, really, but in the grand scheme of things, depending on what you do, if you do go with something like genetic mastery or evolutionary mastery, whatever you want to call it.
Construction complete. Research complete.
What's the ascension perk? What's the ascension perk? Yeah, evolutionary mastery. When you can gene tailor specific things, it is better to start specializing your planets, which we probably should have worked towards doing. Oh, hey, look here. We got another pop-up for the Ministry of Benevolence. Woohoo. Let's see. None of these are really good picks, aside from proclamation broadcasts to increase our edict duration whenever we enact an edict on a planet. That's a pretty good pick.
Construction complete.
Okay. Kentarum Central, you are done that mining network. Good. Jeez, see, look at them go. Oh man, they're getting that whole section of the galaxy. Jeez. Now these guys, why are you here? Like, why are you there fighting now? Do you not see the bigger problem? Where's that fleet going? Oh man. What's this guy doing? Oops. Here we go. Fleet combat. Gotta wait for that to finish before we figure out what this fleet's orders are. You're on console, right? How do you get fertile in that other one? Erudite? Well, that's from the Ascension perks. We did Evolutionary Ascension. So our third Ascension perk was Engineered Evolution. You need the... there's a prerequisite for it, and I forget what it is. It's not letting me look here. You need a certain kind of gene tailoring research project in the biological tree before you can pick Engineered Evolution, and it cannot be your first Ascension perk. Evolutionary Mastery, you need at least 3 other Ascension perks picked. You need Engineered Evolution, and you need one more gene tailoring technology. I believe it's this one that comes up from Engineered Evolution, which is gene seed purification. And then you get the tech research option, genetic resequencing. Once you research genetic resequencing, these 2 Ascension perks give you +5 trait points to your native species, and the modified species special project cost is reduced by a total of 75%. So by getting evolutionary mastery, you get access to the advanced traits. So there's fertile, which increases growth speed by 30%, and happiness by 5%. So this is actually a really good pick if you want to still use mostly your organic pops. In this case, we outlawed robots, so we didn't go with those. Erudite is used in place of intelligent because it's the better version. It increases leader skill levels by +1 and increases engineering, physics, and society output by +20%. As you can see, it's just better than intelligent by almost twice as much and gives you an extra little added bonus. Fertile is like rapid breeders, so you can't have slow breeders or rapid breeders and fertile, because fertile is better than rapid breeders by far. And then the other three advanced ones, you've got delicious, which means if this species was used as livestock, the food output from this pop being livestock would be +100%. So it essentially doubles the food output of your livestock. So that can be useful. There's nerve stapled, and I kind of attribute this to having like a pseudo basic robot, because the basic robots have reduced generation in everything except food and minerals. They have a neutral value on food, but they have like a +10%, +20% bonus minerals being generated. And this is the base robots, not droids and not synthetics. So nerve stapling is very similar. Their unity and energy credits output is both reduced by 50%, and they reduce all levels of science by 75%. But they generate +10% minerals and +10% food. This also pairs really good with other things that increase slave output, because slaves have increased mineral and food generation as well. And it makes these pops not affected by happiness. However, it's incompatible with things like intelligent, erudite, natural engineers, that kind of jazz. And then the most expensive one is robust, which gives you +30% habitability and +30 years of leader lifespan. So they're really good. They're really good trait picks. Except for robust. I think it's a little too expensive, but that's another conversation. So that's the 5 advanced trait picks that you get from the engineered mastery. And you can perfectly gene tailor any planet to your specific needs, any species to your specific needs, which is really quite useful. And that's why I started going off on my tirade about how the fact that I generalized each and every single one of these planets so that they're pretty much all generating, well, not all of them, most of them. These ones that all have a friggin' planet modifier with reduced minerals output, we should probably gene tailor these planets to generate more energy credits. In fact, why don't we do that right now? Let's go take a look at Menchib Prime. People, species, Newt. Modify, and we're going to modify just Menchib Prime. And what we're going to do is we are going to, actually, we should take a look at the planet again. Do we have any science labs? Yes, there's science labs. Crap. You know what we could do, though, is take off the fertile trait. We don't really need that on these older planets that are fully grown. So we could take off the fertile trait, keep erudite and natural engineers because those are ridiculously good, and throw on thrifty. So let's go modify again. Here we go. Take that off, and we go thrifty. And that we do it on Menchib Prime. Oh, what's another planet we can do that to? There's more than one planet where we have crappy mineral generation on it because of a planetary modifier. So we didn't build any mining stations on. Oh, here's one. Kaiser Colony. Menchib Prime. Yanduz Prime. That's the other one. Okay. I knew it was 3 planets. 3 of our earlier planets that we colonized. Okay, so Kaiser Colony, Menchib Prime, and Yanduz Prime. I must have missed those at the bottom. I did the evolutionary line on my Devouring Swarm playthrough. Have to go back now. Yeah, they're very easy to miss if you don't often gene tailor your species or any of the species in your empire because they're at the very bottom. So it is pretty easy to miss them. So Menshib Prime, and then we had Kaiser Colony and Yanduz Prime. None of those are generating... there we go. So let's change them to Thrifty. This will cost us 4,650 biological research. So let's go modify. And now this will take 9 months, so that's good. There we go. Research that. That's actually pretty quick. Now the reason why it's taking less time than expected is because we're actually generating 577.5 points of biological research every month, because you can see this progress plus 63%. That modifier is applied after the point value in the top there, the plus 354. And then it gives you a breakdown of where those modifiers came from. But yes, I definitely suggest going back and looking at your... if you did Evolutionary Mastery with your Devouring Swarm, I definitely recommend going back and taking a look at those advanced perks and where you can get the most use out of them, because they are really good. Just be sure not to nerve staple all of your own species, because you will seriously regret that. I guarantee it. A great thing to do, like I said, nerve stapling goes great with having slaves, because if I could go back and redo the productive slaves video, you could have the authoritarian governing ethic with those civics. What were they? Mining guilds and slaver guilds, both which increased mineral production, but the slaver guilds also increased food production of slaves. You could have another civic that increases the food production, which I believe is what the heck was it? I swear to God, there is one. Is there not a civic that increases food production by itself? I'm starting to think there isn't. I thought there was, but I guess I'm on drugs. Yeah, okay, so there isn't one, but that's fine. So yeah, you got the Mining Guild's Civic, and then you also have the Slaver Guild's Civic, and then you have the Slave Processing Plant on your planets that generate food and or minerals, and you have them nerve stapled with the nerve stapled trait, and you have them what were those traits again? Oh, wrong bloody thing. Come on. Wake up, Moby. What are you doing? Oh, we can't modify these guys yet. One of them is industrious, and then I forget what the other one is for additional food. But, you know, you give them those traits as well. Your slaves will be so productive, it's insane. Okay, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. Not a lot is going on because I've paused the game a hell of a lot to talk to chat. If that's bothersome, I do apologize. But at the same time, if you would like to have those kinds of discussions going on in real time while I'm streaming, drop on by the Twitch channel. Okay, so we can get focused arc emitters, which might be useful later on, but right now I don't really care for them. Focusing arrays grade 3, that will increase our energy weapon damage, but we want to also increase our energy weapon attack speed around the same time. So, flash coolant. And how are we doing? 5 more months to modify the Newt species on those 3 planets. I guarantee once we see those 3 planets modified, we will definitely see an increase in our energy credits. Right now we're generating 69.91 per month.
Construction complete.
We got Arimadon Core has finished its construction queue. The physics lab is done. So our next pop is going to be on this tile with the one thing of society research. So let's start building the science lab on that. Synthetic personality matrix. Useless for us because we are not doing... what's it called? We're not building synthetics. Okay, fortified core layers. Let's do that. What do we got here? The Savix Cast Reclaimers made peace with the Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom. No demands have been enforced. Okay, good. We can start sending our fleets over there without worry of them getting into a fight with the Savix Cast Remnant. Okay, let's send them over here. Do we have any armies? I don't think we have any armies. That's problematic. Okay, so we should see some of this negative 60 energy offset once those 3 or 4 planets are further gene-tailored. And that'll be a nice thing to have. I don't think we have any armies for invading, so let's go ahead and build some. Fact Prime. We're just going to do some basic Newtonian assault armies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one, Fact Secundus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Factception, Fact Tertius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And factually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 25 Newtonian armies that we're going to be producing. And then we'll figure out which attachments will work the best. Because we're just going to use them to assault these infested colonies and kick the Prothoran Scourge off of them. Problem is, once our ships enter Prothoran Scourge space, several of their fleets are going to move to intercept. And I say several, if not all of them. So here's one of the Vanguard fleets, 94 of their little guys, the little devourers. I have strong faith that our military fleet would be able to take those on pretty easily. Okay, so we have our 40,000 minerals. How much longer for our Dyson Sphere, though? Let's take a look at that. Borbo, where are you? There you are. Dyson Sphere, 371 days remaining. So that's still a full 12 months. Let's see, 620, 12, that's a little over 6,000. So about 7,000 minerals. So we can spend about that much. Let's get a few cruisers. Yeah? Yeah. On second thought, no. We'll just get a few battleships. Okay, and we'll build these battleships very close to the borders where they're going. So Latium, Eremadon, Farragon's not a colonized system. So Bagial, Menchib, Latium, and Eremadon. We'll build them there. Bagial Prime, Spaceport, Battleship. There we go. And then Latium, Spaceport, Battleship. And then Menchib. Where's the planet? There it is. Spaceport, Battleship. And then Eremadon. Now, the reason why we're doing it on these planets is because our fleet is moving in this direction. So when these battleships are done construction, they'll have an easier time meeting up with the fleet that is currently moving over to these parts of the galaxy. Okay, so thankfully we're no longer at war. This will still do a significant hit on the monthly maintenance of our fleet because we are going to be over the naval capacity by a fair amount. We'll be at 500 naval capacity exactly. Eremadon Core has finished its surface construction queue. All right, upgrade that to a biolab, and we'll work on that.
Species modified.
There we go. See, species modified, and now instead of losing 60 minerals, we're only losing 25. So that actually increased our mineral generation by 35. Just by modifying our species on those 3 planets, because, hey, we're not generating any minerals on these planets, so whatever. You know, I can't believe we never finished our precursor event. Unreal. Vessels consumed by the Scourge, 137. Prothoran squashed by others, 5. Infested worlds, 4. Well, they only have 4 infested worlds, and we're looking at them right here, so we got a chance here. They are busy dealing with the Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom. If we can go fast enough, we might be able to cleanse 1 or 2 of these planets. But that means that our armies really need to finish construction here. Hey, our naval capacity just grew. We are right at the naval cap. Interesting. And we're immediately going to go over it in a second. Construction complete. What do we got? Kick from Federation. Why do these guys want to kick them? What? wishes to kick the Tial Authority. Let's vote no, because screw you, that's why. And then we upgrade this biolab again. Look, I get it. There are these little dinky dudes over here, but it's not like they're having a detrimental effect by being in our Federation. Come on. Oh, hey. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I didn't realize it. I'm a little late to the party, but check it out. We can finally reform our government. Okay, so this costs 250 influence, and we did not have anywhere near enough for the longest time. What a nightmare. Okay, oligarchic, because what else can we use? We can't do... Can't do corporate dominion, because we're xenophobic. But that's fine. Let's leave it as... let's leave it as a monarchy for the time being, and maybe at a later time we can change it to an oligarchy so that we can get that corporate dominion civic pick, because it's actually really good. Plus 10% energy generation across the empire. Okay, so reform, boop, and look at that. Okay, so our mineral production just went up a bit. We're generating 1 point of extra influence every month now as well. And look at our unity generation. It just went down by about another 100 because of the bonuses going on there. So our hydroponics farms are no longer generating unity for no reason. There's a paradise stone. That's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. Hydroponics farms. Look at that. Just food. That's all we needed. Beautiful. Okay, so our fleet's moving, and we still have a little bit of time before those 4 additional battleships finish up here. Why does it look like I'm still at war with somebody? Maybe those were Pythoran vessels. Let's take a look. We're definitely not at war with them. We're not at war with anybody. It looked like we were, though, because there was a red ship icon here in this guy's space.
Construction complete.
Construction. Okay, there's the 4 additional battleships. Here they come. And we're back up to almost negative 60 in energy generation.
Construction complete.
You know what I think we'll do? We'll put the second Void Skulkers right here. Because we got to wait for those armies to finish recruiting. I wonder if we could use a general. I don't really like recruiting generals because kind of pointless. Kind of. But, whatever. We got Defender, Charismatic, Army Morale. Oh, here we go. Plus 20% Army Morale and damage on attack. Yeah, we do want that. Boop. Okay, how many more armies are we looking at here? Oh my god. They still need to recruit 3 more armies. Yeah, real. 5.5k. You know, we probably still stand a pretty good chance against these Pythoran fleets because we do have that Defender of the Galaxy perk. Plus 50% damage against endgame crises. We'll take heavy losses in our first engagement. I can tell you that right now. I've found that the best way to deal with the Scourge is to just slap on as many big, long-range, heavy weapons as possible. You still need some smaller weapons like medium, and I do mean, you know, either small size or better yet, medium size weapons. But long range weapons to severely deplete their numbers before they get in range with their acid spits and their own little strike craft.
Construction complete.
It's effective. It's not the be-all end-all way to combat them, of course, but it's effective. Okay, now let's take a look at our other planets where we haven't done anything for a while. Ooh, Admiral gains trait. Following his recent sensor sweep of the Tyriox system, Admiral Mixrodum has learned how to deploy his units to maximize their sensor range. Blah, 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 blah. So that's cool. We got another trait on this guy. So We already had Engineer, which gives us plus 2% monthly hull regeneration, which is pretty good. Fleet Logistician, which is always good. And then we've also got increased sensor range by 25% and plus 20% sublight speed, which is great for intercepting in-system hostiles. Ooh, what is this guy? Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you going? Where are you going? We have got to deal with that colony ship before it infests something. Get going, boys. Colonizing Pila 2. Where is that? You know what? I don't care where it is. It's a problem. We cannot let them getting a foothold. We cannot allow them to get a foothold in this part of the galaxy. Where is it? Pila 2. I've got a bad feeling it's in my space. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at this. There it is. Okay, is this guy set to aggressive? Yes, he is. Good. I'm just glad things finally started happening. It was looking pretty boring for a while there. Okay, we're on the last set of armies. As soon as those finish, we're going to go do our attachments. We'll embark them from their planets. We'll attach a general to one of them, merge all of them, and then we'll start sending them over to meet up with the second Void Skulkers. I've lost track of the enemy colony ship. Where'd it go? We're out of sensor range here, that's why. Oh, hey, look at this. What the heck is happening? What the... I have no idea what's going on. Let's see if we can find out. Well, we'll be able to take out 2 Prothoran infestors here. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. Nice. Bree and Turban. Okay, perfect. Okay, so army recruitment is complete. Now... attachments. Of course, the cheap one is Neo-Concrete Fortifications and Hunter-Killer Drone Swarms. Hunter-Killer Drone Swarms would be pretty decent because it's a decent increase in army damage. I like Xeno Cavalry because it's a small increase in army damage but a decent increase in army health. However, I'm leaning towards Clone Commandos because that's a plus 25% damage increase. They're more likely to live if the enemy armies are just straight up dead, aren't they? Okay, so let's build that one, and then let's do that one, and then that one, and that one. I think our next section of the Dyson Sphere is done because we are now in the positive for energy generation. I hope that hasn't been like that for too long. Well, you know what I forgot to do is embark our armies. Okay, so this is done. Embark all. Need to go to Kentarum. These are the defensive armies on this planet. Oh, no, wait. That's not the right planet. What am I doing? Fact. We need to be on Fact Prime. That's right. Okay, armies and Clone Commandos all around. There we go. Embark all. And now the next one. There we go. And embark all. Okay. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Factception. Forgot to embark these ones. And then Fact Tertius. Embark. There we go. Okay, so now, right beneath military fleets, after civilian ships, we should have our armies. So let's go select them all. Boop. And then we are going to merge them. We'll keep them on passive because they're going to be following around the second Void Skulkers. And then once these guys have merged, we will assign our general to all of them. What's going on here? Oh my goodness. There's a fight happening, boys. We're going to throw our weight in there. See what you can do. What do we got? Federation. The Neberite Covenant wants to remove the Han-Mer Enlightened Kingdom. These guys just don't stop. They hate everybody. They're like, no, I don't want you in the Federation. No, I don't want you in the Federation. No, you know what? I don't want you in the Federation. I think this Prothoran fleet bit off more than it can chew because this Awakened Empire is really kicking the crap out of them. There we go. Backup has arrived. Sort of.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Here we go. Time to offer some assistance. The Thorns are taking heavy losses in this battle. Whew. There we go. Got some cruisers closing in finally. This battle's pretty much over though. Bloop. Oh, there we go. Tachyon Lance. And a couple plasma cannons. They're down to only about 15 ships. Okay, Transport Fleet 5, please. Follow these guys around. And you are going to attach the general. Oop. There we go.
Log updated.
Awesome. Well, we had nothing to do with that, but we sure showed them. Okay, let's go back to our original plan. We need to get into this Terramore system and de-infest this planet. Hopefully that makes a dent. If we can de-infest their planets and make sure that they have no colony ships, we have a good chance that, so long as we simply wipe out their fleets, we might actually stop them. Although I'm not really too keen on the likelihood of that happening. Call me a pessimist. Anyways, our Dyson Sphere. Sorry, I forgot all about that again. Borbo system. Yep, plus 200 points of energy. So here we go. Another 40,000 minerals. Boop. The more energy we have, the more we can build up our fleet. Regardless of our... what's the word? Naval capacity. Okay, so it looks like we just had a Scourge fleet jump away from the Terramore system. Ooh, man, our... our transport ships. Ooh. I'm going to want to change that. They are very basic. Impulse thrusters, ship-mounted tachyon sensors. I don't want to give them the jump drive because I do want them to come in behind the fleet that they're following, to be totally honest. If that makes any sense.
Incoming
But I'll tell you... Ooh, what do we got? Ooh. Cancel. Hang on, let's pause it for a second here. I want to hide obsolete. There we go. Okay, so there's a 0-point power. Let's do a couple hyper shields. Do another 0-point reactor. And let's throw on... screw it. Shield capacitor. Why not? There we go. Save that. What do we got? Yeah, sure. Strategic resources that I can definitely spare. Why not? Okay, so what's going on here? What's our allied fleet doing? Did he just jump away? Nope, he's jumping somewhere else. There you are. What's your plan, buddy? You're not really doing much. Entering orbit of Tiramore 3. Oh, you want to go now? Oh, okay, fine. Let's just hurry things along. This could go decently well, or it could go horribly wrong, because we have 3 fleets converging on Tiramore 3. Swoop, swoop, swoop. There goes the Awakened Empire fleet. Goodbye. Come again. Whoa, okay. Enemy fleet spotted. Here we go. This is the first true test of our mettle. Do we have enough to withstand these guys without taking significant losses? I'm pretty sure we'll lose a whole bunch of corvettes and destroyers, simply because those are the easiest ships to kill. Yep, there's a couple gone already. Our corvettes are getting pretty badly torn up. But we're definitely doing some damage to them. Haven't lost any of our bigger ships yet. No destroyers, no cruisers. I mean, as nice as it is that corvettes are cheap and build quickly and they're easy to replace, I just don't like how they die so fast. That's why I largely stick to just keeping them if I need to throw a bunch of neutron torpedo launchers in the fleet. Looks like that guy's small fleet of God knows what was in there is gone. Okay, so we've lost a cruiser and 2 destroyers. Our corvettes are almost practically wiped out. Yay. What do we got here? Oh, two cruisers just lobbing missiles in there, eh? Okay. We definitely tore them up, though. That was a fleet with a decently higher rating in terms of military power than ours. But, damn. We shredded them. Who the heck is texting me? Oh, jeez! As soon as we finish off this fleet, we need to GTFO. Come on, take them out. There we go. Alright, hold tight, hold tight. Ba, 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 ba. You guys need to retreat! Boink. How many ships did we lose? We lost a cruiser, 9 destroyers, and pretty much all of our corvettes. Did we lose any in the emergency FTL? I don't know. Doesn't say. Well, that sucked. I wasn't paying attention and didn't realize that a bunch more friggin' Thorin fleets warped in. Well, this gives us the opportunity to go upgrade our transport ships at no cost. Okay, well, we're gonna have to, I mean, we have some naval capacity to rebuild our fleet a little bit, so we're gonna have to do that. We're also generating a boatload of energy credits now compared to earlier, which is great. 23.99.04.30. Oh, goody. I don't even know where they're gonna show up. Probably in Eurymedon. So, can we build some more battleships? Yeah, we should be able to build a few more. Let's check out Bagiel Prime. Definitely build one there. And then Menchib Prime. Build one there. Then we've got Latium. Hello. Build one there. And Eurymedon. Build one there. So that's 4. Should be able to build 2 more. So let's go to Epsilon Indy. Build one there. And Elthior Prime. There's a big gap. There's a just like I've got planets on the east side of the Empire, and then there's a bunch of planets over there, obviously, and then there's planets kind of scattered over the western parts of the Empire. Kind of reminds me of Canada. Large amounts of population clustered up on the eastern portions, and then the western portions are kind of scattered all over the place, except for this big clump on the coast. Okay, I feel like there is another planet that we can... Oh! That's mentioned Prime. We already did that. I feel like there's another planet that we can gene tailor to improve its production. Doesn't look like it, though. We already did most of these planets. Okay, what do we got here? The Transport Fleet 5 is fully upgraded. Okay, cool. So now our transport ships have some protections. They have a little bit of shields and a shield capacitor. Cool. That's what we want. Okay, so let's... our fleets are going to come back any moment now. 30th day of this month, and we will see them back. There they are. Where are they? What the? Way up there. Okay. Go get repaired, please. How many did we lose? We still have all of our battleship. Okay, we still have everything that it said we had. But, yeah. Our corvettes took a beating. We lost half of our destroyers, and we lost one cruiser. So, not entirely unexpected amounts of losses, to be completely honest. But yeah, you see what I mean, though. As soon as we entered a system claimed by the Praetorian Scourge, a whole bunch of their fleets came back to be like, I do not like it when they get invaded. But on the plus side, I figure after a little bit more of building up of our forces, we can confidently take on a full battle enemy Praetorian battle fleet by ourselves. I'd like to build up a bunch more battleships before that happens, though. We already have 40, and there's another 4, 5, 6 on the way. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got 6 more on the way. I could actually queue up a few more already, too. So let's go to Latium Prime. Do one there, and then we'll do Elthier Prime. Oh, wait, no, not that one. Menchib Prime. Do one there. And leave it at that for the time being until next month. And then we can do Arimadon and Bagiel. Arimadon and Bagiel. There we go. 10 more battleships on the way. Now the problem with having a battleship-heavy fleet is the battleships are a lot tougher to take down, but losing one is a decent hit because it takes a while to rebuild them. It takes way more resources to rebuild them. Kick from Federation. The Neberite Covenant wants to remove the Tial authority. Stop it. Alright, the second Void Skulkers are now repaired. The reason why our energy generation shot through the roof is because we lost our whole fleet, pretty much. So, let's move these guys. On the plus side, though, they're docked at a spaceport that's not reducing their maintenance right now. We're still in the green for energy generation, so that's good. Our minerals are below 700 again, though, so we do want to change that. It'll probably hit above 700 once all these battleships we just built group up and are under the employ of that admiral with the fleet logistician trait. Okay, so where are the armies? There we go. Need to have them group up. Where did our fleets go? There they are. Please follow these guys. Thank you. There we go. Oh, we finished a research project and... Okay. Yeah, we've got that bug where the announcer is not saying anything because there's too much crap going on in the galaxy. That's fine. Not the first time that has happened. Jeez, look at how many fleets they have. Let's check out the situation log. The Scourge of the Void. Praetorian squashed by others. 555. Holy crap. Praetorian exterminated by us. 90. Vessels consumed by the Scourge. 550. Wow. Overall, we're given as much as we're taking, it seems like. But I'm willing to wager a lot of that was because of that battle in this Awakened Empire's space. And he just went, nuh-uh, not today. And kicked the crap out of them. There are so many enemy fleets in the Great Kundan Coalition's space, though. It's insane. What I might want to try doing is we build a few corvettes and we set them to evasive and we set them with, you know, high sublight speeds. Kick from Federation. Wait, what? The Neberite Covenant wishes to remove the nation of MacGruber from the Federation. Look at all these guys voting yes. You got... The vote to kick us has failed. Okay, good. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that, Neberite Covenant and Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom. You guys are trying to kick us out of the Federation? We're one of your strongest allies right now. Bunch of jerks. Like, look at this. Look at this. Neberite Covenant. Equivalent rating. The fleet power is inferior. Naval capacity and technology level equivalent. Supposedly. United Rothak Pact, which was one of the other ones that wanted to kick us. Fleet power and naval capacity are pathetic, and technology level is inferior. Get out of here. The Tial Authority is pathetic all around except for technology. What a joke. Sorry, Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom. Pathetic fleet power, superior naval capacity, inferior technology level. Get out of here. These are the guys that were trying to kick us from the Federation. Like, can you believe that? I don't think the Great Kundan Coalition is going to be able to put up a fight against the Praetorian Scourge anymore because their fleet power is pathetic compared to ours. So that tells me that their fleets have been completely annihilated. And they've got nothing left. You know what we can do is we can definitely build another science ship or two. So let's go to Arimadon. Now that some systems in the Savix Cast Reclaimer's space have opened up to us, let's just build 2 more science ships. Can I build 2 more science ships? Oh yeah, I got 3 spaces for leaders. And you know what? We can increase that by dismissing this guy. So screw you. Nobody likes you. Okay, recruit new leader. Ah, archaeologist. Hell yeah. Let's recruit Indiana Jones, folks. And then we'll do a roamer for increased survey speed. Now what do we got? Neberite Covenant wants to remove Tial Authority. No. Stop that. What else? Let us end this meaningless rivalry. Alright, fine. Let's go contacts. And where are you? And end rivalry. Confirm. Okay, that just made our influence generation kind of tank. Which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Alright, about another 15 minutes and then we're going to call it quits. We only got about... We didn't even get about 10 in-game years in this episode, which is kind of weak, but that's okay. I did do a lot of yakking earlier and keep pausing the game. Oh, yeah, that's the... Cool. Here's our science vessel. Let's put Indiana Jones in it, and then you can go on automatically exploring. Please and thank you. I should probably get somebody to research those debris piles, though, that we can find. Okay, available, and then boop. And where is all this debris? Oh, there we go. So let's go research those projects, research those projects. Where else? In the Pila system and the Kirban system. We're not going to go in the Tirabor system because that's bad news. Oh, here we go. Here comes a scouting party. What's the Tiramore system look like? We don't know because they got immediately annihilated. Good to know. So, don't warp our fleet in Tiramore anytime soon. That's the lesson I just learned. Because there is something right on the other side of that warp of that hyperlane, and they are just sitting there waiting. We do have 50 battleships now, though. So even though we lost a lot of ships, namely all of our corvettes, in our first engagement with the Prothoran Scourge, our fleet power is higher than it's ever been. Each individual battleship adding 1253 fleet power. Not bad. I think we're going to have to hit a lot. What the? The Hanmer Enlightened Kingdom wishes to declare war against the Quapulchi systems. Aren't they? They're signatory under the Valdari Mediators, so yeah, I don't really feel like pissing them off. And who's voting yes? I'm voting no. Screw you guys. Ah, they've infested more planets. Shit. That's not good. The more planets they infest, the more fleets they get, if I recall right. Whoa! 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 This is the Awakened Empire's fleet. They still have their Titan, but they're down to 23 battleships. They have lost about half of their fleet power. They got spanked! I probably should have warped my guys in and we should have helped them out. I feel kind of bad now. Yeah, they're just like, screw this, I'm going home. Oh, jeez! We don't want our fleet there anymore. Look at those guys coming in. Okay, so let's get them out of here. Come back this way, please. Where are they going? Moving to the Dimas system. Okay, so they're going in a completely different direction. Okay, stop. Hopefully our singular battleships that are trying to regroup with our main fleet don't run into them. Uh-oh. Nope, they're still going. Let's just keep track of where they're moving to. I didn't see where the Dimas system is. Ooh, who just died? Scientist Raksuked. Or Berdibidrber. Oh. Ah, the guy assisting research on Epsilon Indy Prime. Well, let's go ahead and recruit a new leader, folks. Let's get this really young guy, age 32. Do your thing. Where did those Scourge ships go? I don't even know. Oh, hang on. What do we got here? Research that project, whatever the heck it is. Oh, no, wait. This guy was doing the debris projects, wasn't he? I don't think I'm going to be able to do those now. Okay, unemployment. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign. Bagiel Prime. You know, we're not generating any power here, so actually that's a bad idea. That would mean nerve stapling everybody. We can make them industrious. Okay, let's go ahead and do a mining network here. Who else died? Oh, no. We replaced that guy already. Okay. Will to power. Commissar squads. Don't care for that. We got some really bad options here, but I'm just going to pick the cheapest one. Selected lineages. I don't like that policy, though. At all. I think it's a crappy policy. Really expensive leaders. They're really good leaders, but they're really expensive. And I mean really expensive to recruit. Jesus, that is a huge fleet. 222k. What do we got? End rivalry from the Valdari mediators. You know what? Sure. There. Our influence generation is in the toilet now, compared to earlier, but that's fine. I can't help but think that we're going to regret this, but we're going to try and engage the smaller fleet that is in the Savix Cast Remnant space. If we can keep them separated, I think we got a pretty good chance here. Yeah, these guys are just going to go around blowing up all the little research stations. This gives us time. Closed borders from the Valdari mediators. Okay, fine, whatever. They want to kick the Tial authority from the Federation again. Let's have our transfer fleet just pull back for now. The situation is not looking good, folks. Considering that the most powerful fleet in the galaxy from this awakened empire, the Savix Cast Reclaimers, got pretty heavily decimated. They lost all of their little escort ships. They lost many of their battle cruisers. It effectively cut their overall fleet power in half. It was pretty brutal. Okay, upgrade the mining network. Where are these guys going now? Moving, who knows where. Come on, guys. Get over there and cut them off, please. Can't let them warp away and regroup with the other fleet. What do we got? I'm on the asteroid surrounding blah, 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 blah. We have discovered an alien ship in orbit. It is not responding to our attempts to hail them. If this is due to it being unable to interpret our signal, a special project has been issued to save the ship and investigate it. Okay, sure. Situation log. Adrift. Has one construction ship in orbit. Okay. Where's the closest one? Medship. Okay. So we gotta send him here. There we go. And now this science ship can go about automatically exploring. Carry on. Speaking of which, where is our other science ship that we sent automatically exploring? Where did he go? It's this guy over here. Oh, he's way down here. What the? I can't believe a system down there never got explored. About 5 minutes here, folks, and then I'm going to call it a night. Where's our fleet? Where are these guys going? Colonizing Pila 3. No! Second Void Skulkers intercept! Now, what's that guy doing? What was that? Where are they going? They warped right past each other. Oh, boy. Okay, you know what? Screw it. We're going to see what happens here. We have to stop these guys here and now. Where's our transport fleet? Here we go. Well, let's see what happens, boys. We're going to lose the rest of our corvettes. We're definitely going to lose the rest of our destroyers, and we're probably going to lose most, if not all, of our cruisers. If we can severely weaken or take out this fleet, that'll be a big win. We're definitely doing damage. Taking losses, though. Losing our cruisers now. Ooh, what do we got? Cool. Yep, all of our cruisers are going to be wiped out. We've only got 2 left. We've taken out a fair chunk of their forces, though, let me tell you. All of our destroyers are now gone, and we've lost a battleship as well. Okay, can the rest of our battleships hold out and finish off this fleet? I have to go, but enjoyed the stream, and thanks for answering some questions for me. Anytime, Stang, feel free to drop by in the future. Also, check out on my YouTube channel. There will be links in the descriptions for my latest Stellaris Console videos. And there will be one to come to the Discord channel if you wish to talk more with other Stellaris Console players. I strongly suggest doing it. And I do appreciate you coming by tonight. Hope to see you next week too, buddy. I think we got this one in the bag. We just lost our 2nd battleship. But we're dishing out far more than we're receiving. I just want to make sure that they're not... Okay, 3rd battleship down. I just want to make sure that they're not getting any damage in with the likes of their torpedoes and whatnot. If those are getting through and actually inflicting damage, we might have to change it up a bit so that we have more flak artillery on our battleships. Is there another fleet coming in to deal with us? Nope. Let's move the transport fleet here. Following the 2nd Void Skulkers. Go, 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 go. There we go. Yeah. Now take out that infestor ship. Please. Get wrecked. Okay, so let's take a look at the after-action report. Okay, so we lost all of our cruisers, destroyers, and corvettes. No shocker there. We destroyed them completely, though. We lost 6 battleships. Not too bad. Not great, though. Our hit ratio is really bad, though. 20% hit ratio on our large plasma cannon. 39% hit ratio on our medium plasma cannon. That's awful. Of course, they evaded 43%, and we missed 22%. That's pretty bad. We killed 249 strike craft. Let's see. Point defense targets killed. Missiles, 1,049. That's pretty dang awesome. Total damage output for the Scourge fleet, 273,963. But here's the kicker, 162,928 of that, so easily 2/3 plus, was to our shields. They did 42,000 damage to armor and 68,000 damage to hull. So let's see, small Scourge Acid Blast and Scourge Acid Blast, about 24,000 damage each in that. Inflicted explosive weapon damage, large Scourge missile, 21,000. I do not like that. Let's check out hit ratio. That doesn't really change anything because every missile that was not shot down did hit us. We still shot down a lot of missiles, but there was a fair bit of damage that still got through with their missiles, which I don't like. So we're probably going to go ahead and change our battleship designs. Our flak artillery only did 33 damage, but let's see. Our tachyon lance did the most damage by far. Just under 241,000 damage. Large plasma cannon, 83,000. Medium plasma cannon, 64,000. So yeah, decent levels of damage all around. Defense-wise, I think we're a little bit lacking. So we'll probably change out one more medium plasma cannon for a flak artillery on our battleships. Oh, you know what? This could also be because the other ships, these could be the missiles doing all this damage to our other vessels, namely our destroyers and cruisers. That's entirely possible. We'll see how the next battle goes with pure battleship fleets. We'll try to build up to about 60 or 70 battleships before we really engage them again in a full-on fleet battle. As you can see, they are just infesting more of the Great Kundun Coalition space. They've got, what, 7 planets now? Let's take a look. The Scourge of the Void. Infested worlds, 8. Protheron is exterminated by us, 184. Protheron squashed by others, 585. Vessels consumed by the Scourge, 657. Well, they have definitely gained the edge in taking our guys out. The galaxy is no longer dishing out as much as it gets. Not a good sign. Okay, so I'm going to leave things as is right here. This is a good point to save the game. File with this name already exists. Yes, please replace it. Okay, that was a fairly fun episode. Finally, some stuff happened. After the last one was kind of just sitting there waiting for stuff. I still don't really like the timing of the Scourge showing up in this game. And where they showed up as well, it could not have been worse. If they showed up somewhere closer to us, maybe we would have had a much better counterattack almost as soon as they showed up. Or maybe we would have gotten totally obliterated and then been at the absolute mercy of these intergalactic invaders. But hey, that's part of the reason why Stellaris Console Edition and Stellaris in general can be really fun, because you don't know what's going to happen, and it doesn't always work out in your favor. So the challenge could be, excuse me, oh, I'm sleepy. So part of the fun is the challenge in trying to overcome these things that the game throws at you. Anyways, my name is Mobius Y. Thank you to those of you who came by and watched tonight's stream, as well as those of you who were active in chat. Stang and the other gentleman, Camille, sorry, I forget what it is already. My bad. But anyways, thank you for coming by and being active in the chat. And if you watch this on YouTube, as I said at the beginning of the video, my name is Mobius Y. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for more Stellaris Console Edition content. Check the links in the description below. My Twitch channel where I stream this live, and I would love for you to come by and join me in the next chapter and be able to offer live feedback and help me with some decision making. You'll find my Twitter handle, which is a great way to keep in touch with me, as well as follow along with any streams that go live, or if I have to postpone or cancel them. As I said, also a great way to keep in touch with me. And there will be a link to the Discord channel where there's several other Stellaris Console Edition players. Not a huge amount of us. It's a very small Discord channel, but it's growing ever so slowly, with at least a few new people joining every week. So if you'd like to try and set up some multiplayer games with other Stellaris Console Edition players, or if you'd just like to come in and chat with other players, that's fine too. Those links will all be in the description below. And yeah, I think that just about covers it. This was a much more fun chapter. I definitely did a lot of talking, interacting with chat this time, so hopefully those of you who mostly watch this on YouTube, you don't mind that. I do hope that those little segments are insightful and useful to you, as opposed to just kind of, you know, shut up and play the game, Moby. Or however people choose to react. Personally, it doesn't really matter to me. Whatever you guys prefer is kosher with me too. Yeah. This was an interesting night. I think the next chapter in the Newtonian story. Could be a very, very, very interesting one. I'm going to shut up there and take off for the evening. Thank you very much to everybody who came by and watched live. Thank you for those of you who watched this on YouTube. I will see you again very soon. Have a great night.